up, you guys? Welcome to the Jimbo Slice Workshop. Jimbo here. See, we got a new name again. This is the final name that we're going to have, formerly the Jimbo Slice YouTube channel. So last week we did the light table build. Today, moving forward, we are going to review the Makita cordless brushless angle grinder. This was a tool barn deal. They had it for right around 130 bucks. Can't get the battery out. There you go. Model number XAG03. This runs off of there. It has the star on there, so you got to make sure you have the updated batteries. Now, the battery they shipped out, it does not have a fuel gauge, but you do have a fuel gauge on the tool right here. The thing with Makita, in order to view that fuel gauge, you have to turn the tool on. Okay, there's no button on that unless you get one of the newer battery packs, and they have a fuel gauge on the back of it, similar to the DeWalt style fuel gauge. So with this kit, you're going to get two shrouds. You're going to get a grinding shroud and a cutoff shroud, and you're also going to get the wrench for the arbor nut. Okay, so right away, a couple things that I don't like about this grinder. Number one, it's got the slide switch. I prefer paddles, but what I've decided to do, this is a dedicated cutoff tool in my grinder arsenal. Okay, so my fuel grinder, I keep the grinding disc on there, and my various quarter grinders, I have all sorts of contraptions on there. So another cool thing, you have the screens here, and these just peel off right here. These protect the motor intake from metal shards and whatnot. You have one on each side. You can order more if you need more from Makita. A little bit different than the Milwaukee ones. The Milwaukee, they're together and they slide off. You're also going to get two you're going to get a cutting wheel and a grinding wheel. This is the Makita cutting wheel. Now this is made in Germany. So we were thinking that it was P-Ford that makes this disc. The grinding disc it came with was Malaysian or Chinese or something like that. So you can see this has been worn down a little bit. This is a 3/64 kerf on there. Okay. But the major thing that I don't like about this grinder is in order to, we'll zoom in, but in order to swap the discs, it's not a toolless shroud. Okay. So there is a Phillips screw on there that locks it down, unlike a lot of the other grinders that I have. Comes with your safety handle. You can put that on either side. Here's your arbor lock. You know, real basic stuff. Slide on switch. Plenty of power. The cool thing about this, they advertise it on their box. It has a technology inside the motor. When it starts to bog down, it will adjust the RPMs of the motor itself to prevent the tool from bogging down. So I have not ground with this yet. I've just done cutoff stuff with it. So we're going to try and bog this bad boy down. We're going to see how it reacts. You guys saw that I did have the Milwaukee grinder video up a couple weeks ago. So eventually we are going to do a tool fight between these two. Now there's a newer model out for this. With all the OSHA standards coming out, there is a braking grinder version of this, also Milwaukee. So you're going to see a lot of that new technology coming out with the braking grinders because it is a new OSHA requirement. Same thing with concrete. You're going to see all the dust shrouds on the concrete surface grinders, and even with like SDS drills and whatnot, they don't want any job site dust. So anyways, this is kind of their older brushless grinder, but we're going to see it is a nice tool. It's got a good feel. Another key point that I like on this that you don't have in the Milwaukee, I can stand this tool up on the battery here. They actually adjusted. Now it does make the tool a little longer because normally you would have the battery on an angle like this, but they actually level the battery out so you can stand your tool upright like that. And I want to say Metabo, you could actually rotate the battery around depending on the angle of your grinder and what forth. So moving forward, we're just going to do a little bit of cutting, a little grinding, and maybe throw a brush or something on there, and we're going to see how she reacts. you see it's got good power to get through, okay? You hear it bog down a little bit. Even when we really push it, it still gets through. Okay guys, so what we're going to do now is we're going to demonstrate taking off the wheel. And we're going to put the grinding disc on. We're also going to swap the shroud out. Okay. So now, as you can see, I have this screw right here. So that's got to come off. That's what clamps it. Okay. But also, if you look, there is a safety release on here. Well, not really a release, but there is a, where is it? Yeah, this comes all the way. See, I hate this. I hate these shrouds. There it goes. There is a point. There it goes. Okay. So there are a couple little grooves in there. Right there. That's the key location. So to put the other shroud on. Now this one actually has a clamp on it too, which is kind of weird that the other one doesn't. And you can see it locks in. Slides in right there. Okay. So we're going to bring this around, clamp that down, but we still have to lock the screw in. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so that's locked in. It's clamped down and going nowhere. I'm going to put our collets on. Okay. Now we are ready to lock this down and get to work grinding. Alright, so that's nice and tight. Good to go there. Now what I will do is for cutting, I had the handle on the other side, just the way the orientation of the shroud goes. But for grinding, I'm going to bring it around the other side, and I'm just going to adjust my shroud to protect my hand. Okay? Now we'll get to work. Now that we got everything set up to grind, put our safety gear on. Always remember to have a shield, a good set of gloves, and even though you have a face shield on, make sure you have some safety glasses on as well. Now these gloves here, I love these things. These have Kevlar stitching in them and extra padding. These are actually extrication gloves. These are by Hex Armor. Okay, these are their EXT rescues. I think, I don't know. I can get the link for it if you guys are interested. Alright, so I got a P for grinding disc on here, and we're just gonna grind. See, a little bit, I'm now down to run 1 bar, so let's just run it dead. This thing is hard to stop. I am really pushing on it too. Alright guys, I got it to bog. That was pretty cool. But you see, I mean, I was pushing the hell out of that thing. And you see it did not want to give up. So, that is a really powerful grinder. Definitely rivals the Milwaukee Fuel. Okay. That thing's got some major power. Okay. And it's still going. It's still got some battery to it. Battery's a little warm. Let's feel. Yeah, battery's not, I wouldn't say it's hot, but it's definitely warm. Okay. Went to town on my grinding disc too. Okay. But what I wanted to show you was just how incredibly powerful these cordless grinders are becoming. And you saw, it's not your typical height wood grind, okay? Not like I was trying to buff anything out. The whole point of this was to demonstrate the ability of how incredibly, stupidly hard you need to push to bog this thing down that I can't see in the real world actually bogging this thing down by just general grinding work. So that's all, guys. It's Makita brushless grinder. Make sure to check out the upcoming tool fight when that comes out. Probably be in a couple weeks. Get some good competition and figure out what we want to do for it. So, as always, thanks for watching, guys.